and cry out, God deliver me from, you know how to pray.
Oh God, I'm so hungry in this desert. My brother's coming after me with 4
Wait. Did that sound desperate to y'all? I mean, that wasn't bad. But it was a little bit less than the desperation that I mean, if 400 dudes are coming after you now, man, I'd like, I'm talking a little desperation here, okay?
Here we go. Oh God, save me!
Now we're getting there.
Hey, Jesus!
Now, go ahead. You keep that up for just a moment.
Oh God, save me! I'm hungry! I'm in this desert! Ah!
Okay, let's get up on the step. And they wrestle. I don't know what you think was going on there, folks. This wasn't the WWF. Jacob is crying out saying,
Jesus, save me!
and while he's fighting, while he's praying for his life, some idiot, some devil, some maniac comes out of the middle of the desert and starts beating the dirt out of him. Surprise! It's God. Surprise! This isn't the devil that's come after you, Jacob. This isn't some maniac that's just a wild man in the desert. This is an angel of the Lord. You're about to have a divine encounter. You thought that trouble in your life was your enemy. You thought that problem in your life was your destruction. I've got news for you. Surprise! It's God. It's not a devil. It's God bringing you to a place where he can work in your life, so he can do the supernatural, so he can do the phenomenal. You're here by divine appointment. God is working in your life. Hear me. My toughest battles are often with God, not with the devil. I find that on many occasions, it's much easier to say no to the devil than it is to say yes to God. Jacob thinks his problem is with his brother Esau. Jacob, that's not your problem. Your problem is not with Esau. Your problem is with God. And you're asking, saying, God, help me, save me, deliver me. May I inform you that on occasion, when you say those kind of prayers, things are going to get worse before they get better. Jacob's like, I'm up to my eyeballs in trouble, and now I got to deal with some idiot jumping me in the middle of the desert. You see, Jacob, the reason why it's God is because God loves you too much to leave you the way that you are. God's out to change us. That trial in your life, that sickness that brought you to desperation of finding God, that wasn't the judgment of God. That was the mercy of God. Because God says, I've got to change you. I've got to transform you. You see, Jacob's had a previous encounter with God. He even saw angels. Big deal. It didn't change his nature that much. And so the angel is wrestling with him. And Jacob could have run away because Jacob is an expert at running. The day that he got the birthright, or that he got the blessing, Esau was so infuriated. He comes out and he says, Dad isn't going to live that much longer. And the day he dies, I'm killing that weasel. Jacob's mom heard what Esau said, and she said, boy, run. It was the pretense of going and finding a wife, but he's getting out of town because Esau's a man of his word. And Jacob, when things get tough at father-in-law's house, it's not working out exactly like he had hoped. Jacob packs up and takes the family out in the middle of the night. Doesn't even say bye. He's always been in the running business. But Jacob knew he had run long enough. He was desperate. And it was time to settle the issue. In your life today, isn't it time you quit running from some things? There's some issues that someone here under the sound of my voice has had in your life. And you've thought the best way to handle it is escapism. You can escape in drugs, you can escape in alcohol, you can escape in all kinds of things and ways and relationships. But something is telling your spirit this morning. You felt something when that choir was singing that you've never felt before. Something resonated in the depths of your being that says, you know what? I'm really tired of running. I'm really sick and tired of this lifestyle, this emptiness, this waking up in the morning and can't even remember what I did the night before, and they call it fun. And something, now I'm talking to the people that wouldn't consider themselves churchgoers, but what about you folks that's got issues with bitterness and unforgiveness? That you've got issues against brothers and sisters and against leadership. Isn't it time you quit running? Isn't it time to come to face? Isn't it time to get an attitude? You know what? It's time to roll up my sleeves. I got to wrestle a blessing out of this service this morning. I've got to wrestle a blessing out of this situation today. No one wants to be desperate. If we take volunteers, say anybody volunteer for desperation? I know I'm not going to volunteer either. You get enough desperation without volunteering. Life just hands you desperate moments. But only desperate people with no options see miracles. If there would have been an alternative route, once the children of Israel got to the Red Sea, they'd have been looking for an exit. And they never would have walked on dry ground through the midst of the sea. If there would have been any other way than stand still and see the glory of God. They didn't like the situation that they were in. But you read it. They didn't come there because they made a wrong turn. They came there by God's divine instruction. God wanted them in a place where they had to be totally dependent upon Him. And the reward for their total dependence is they got to see their those that had laid the lash to their back, those that had enforced their slavery, those that had enforced their bondage, they got to see them washed upon the shore, face down, dead in the water, so that they never had to worry. Let me